Wait, I'm confused. I mean, maybe you guys had a conversation that I wasn't a part of, but I didn't know the black community turned against us. But thank you. Now I understand that the black community is not our ally and that they're all assuming, guys, that us as Mexicans, we all voted for Trump. They're assuming that we're all racist. And they're assuming that we all hate black people. They have stereotyped us and put us into a category. So now they hate us because it's all of our fault. See, the actions of all Mexicans is my fault. Just the same way, I guess, maybe we could do the same. Black people also voted for Trump. So should we assume that all black people are not our ally then? Should we assume that all black people are Trump supporters? Should we assume that all black people are racist? No, right? And I wouldn't do that because I'm not racist.
I cannot be the only one thinking this. So you guys know how the whole how Los Angeles is going through the immigration thing where ICE is popping up and just taking, children and families and everything. And we kind of already knew this was going to happen to a certain extent. I thought it would happen with like criminals and people that are in gangs and people that were not doing good things for this country, not literally hardworking people. But that's not the point. The point is that I remember back in the day when the whole Black Lives Matter movement was going on, and I supported it. I spoke up about it. I posted something about it, and I said something, right? Even though I'm not African American, honestly, why would I care? Because it is still something that's going on, and I did feel like it was unfair, and something should, be said. I know people are going to protest. I mean, could I have done more? Of course, but at the time, I did not. But at least I did speak up about it. What bothers me right now is that, like, a lot of celebrities or people, maybe influencers that we listen to, no one's saying anything. And I guess everybody has their own thoughts and opinions, and I completely respect that. I just feel like whenever they're discriminating against the other minorities, I'm gonna be quiet and I'm not gonna say anything, because where were you guys at right now? Like I said, I'm not African American. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to post about it. I didn't have to bring awareness to the subject, but I did. Okay. Because it was still unfair, or at least I saw it as like police brutality. Like, what the heck is going on? And the reason why all these protests are going on as well is like to bring awareness, to kind of say, hey, this is not fair. That's how change happens, right? But I just right now, like, going online and listening to some people's thoughts, and they're like, take them all away, deport them all. It's like, how could you be so insensitive? Like I said, I completely agree for deporting criminals, to people that are actually doing harm to other people. But to innocent families, perhaps not. I do get that they broke the law. And I'm kind of, it's just the way that it's being done that it's just like, wow. I just kind of can't believe what's going on right now.
Well, ma'am, let me address something you said that just before we get into our community. You said you really didn't have no problem with them, deporting criminals, but you didn't think that all that was going to happen. Well, see, this is the problem. You immigrate to a country and don't understand the dynamic of white supremacy. When they say, oh, we just going to deport criminals, we're not going to do anybody else, it's just the criminals, and people in your community say, yeah, that's great. Get the criminals out. But here's the thing. If you understand white supremacy, if you're not them, you're considered a criminal.
Happy Sunday, my family, and welcome back. So Latinos are calling out Black Americans for not standing with them in the fight against ICE. And Black Americans are choosing not to help because of history of betrayal and the constant expectation that they'll sacrifice themselves for people who don't stand with them. Because Black Americans have been warning about white supremacy for generations and the consequences of supporting it. And yet those warnings have been ignored until it's too late. So let's get to see more reactions, then I'll come back with more commentary, all right?
Latinos in the United States have not earned the support of Black people for us to be demanding, oh yeah, why aren't they coming out to protest with us? Why aren't they engaging in activism with us? Because we haven't earned it at all, in the slightest. Or did you guys forget that 46% of all eligible Latino voters voted for Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election? Or how about the fact that racism, anti-Blackness, colorism, all of these things are still very much pervasive in our communities? Bro, Latinos haven't even reconciled with the fact that they can't use the N-word unless they're also Black themselves, because Afro-Latinos exist. Oh, and if we're talking about Miami, oof, you'll see the whitest MAGA Latinos be like, bro, but I grew up in the hood. I grew up around Black people. In Overtown or in Liberty City, I could say it, bro. No one's going to stop me from saying it. It's my right. I'm not racist. I have a Black friend. We haven't even gotten over that. And we want black people to go to protests with us, to engage in activism with us, putting their lives, their freedom, their bodies on the line? No. I completely understand any black person that wants to just disengage, disregard us. I get it, guys. I really, really do. And we, as Latinos, as a collective, should not be harboring resentment against black people, criticizing them, getting angry at them, questioning them. No. No. Because we've earned this. They are completely justified in feeling the way they feel and doing what they're doing. Now, I would like to give a message to the black folks watching this video. You are completely justified in your feelings and in doing what you're doing, and I respect it. But please remember that black folks are also being affected by this persecution of undocumented migrants. And I feel like that's not talked about enough either. Here, Miami, Florida is the best example. Haitians, Jamaicans, Bahamians, Afro-Cubans, Afro-Hondurans, Garifunas, black people from all over Latin America and all over the world, Africans, just so many black people that are also undocumented that are really being affected by the persecution of this administration. And of course, much like any other entity in space, black folks in immigration detention centers, in the immigration system, are treated worse than their white, Latino, Asian counterparts. So it's really important to acknowledge that and just let you guys know. But yeah, Latinos, we need to tighten up. If you guys want the support of the black community, then earn it. Demonstrate that we can solve these issues of racism in our own communities, and please stop saying the N-word. If you're not black, don't say the N-word. It's really simple, actually.
I'll be 32 this year. I've been living in Florida off and on since 2008, and I've lived in Texas. I've lived around every kind of Hispanic you could think of. Black people, we need to get out of the habit of trying to tell other groups of people who come to this country and want to align themselves with whiteness or be in proximity to whiteness what's going to happen to them. Because the enemy is white supremacy. It does harm to everybody, white people included. But the problem is that people come here and they want to perpetuate it thinking that they can trade and buy into it, not realizing that white supremacy is exclusive. It's not inclusive. You will never be them. Doesn't matter what kind of minority you are. Doesn't matter how you try to breed your way into it. It don't matter how much money you make. You will never be them. Because to them, especially the ones who make the laws and make the money, that's all that matters. And that's not to say you got to turn around and be aligned with us. But you got to align yourself against them on every level. Not just the optics, but the ideas too. And expecting other people to come to bat for you when it's time for you to fight is crazy, especially when we see you and we see how you are. We see what you do. We see what you say. Because black folk, really, we very empathetic and sympathetic towards everybody because we don't want to see nobody go through the same shit that we done been through, bro. But everybody at every turn, every time are apathetic towards us. And we tired. So I'm saying, black people, don't tell nobody shit. Let them figure it out. Let them fight. And pray they win. Because ultimately, a win against white supremacy is still a win, no matter who won.
An East Asian woman came on this app and called black women cowards because we have decided not to be on the front line for these protests against immigration, mass deportation. She said that a lot of black women are cowards. We are cowards if we are not on the front line. And she said in another video that a lot of our ancestors were cowards, which is wild considering had it not been for our ancestors, you would not be here. Your parents would not have been able to immigrate here. It was the blood, sweat, and tears of my ancestors that, allows people to come to the United States of America for a better life. So to call us cowards is crazy. But I'm just curious, do other ethnic groups not recognize that black people are not slaves anymore? Like, we don't have to do a damn thing but stay black and die. Like, we are not your slaves. We don't have to do anything that we don't want to do. And to be honest, the reason why their attention is more focused on us opposed to their perpetrators, the people who voted for the mass deportation, the white man who's in charge, the reason why their energy is towards black people is because they see black people as inferior. Like, we are second-class citizens, we're low-class citizens, and they're superior to us. And the fact that all of the attention is on immigration right now and they are targeted, they just can't grasp, like, not us, but we're Asian, we're not black, but we're Hispanic, we're not black. Why is this happening to us and not the black people? But we're not black. We're supposed to be okay because we're not black. And they don't like that right now the heat is on them. It's always been on black people. Still is. But they just don't like. Now, if black people were under attack right now, when I say black people, I mean black Americans, as much as, immigrants, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't say anything about us because they would feel like, well, at least, black people are getting attacked too. But because right now it's really bad for them, they have to blame us. They have to blame us. It's not our job to save you. It's not our job to save you. And you cannot manipulate us, gaslight us, guilt us, force us to do anything that we don't want to do. And calling us cowards is not helping your case.
What I'm trying to say is like we don't want you to defend us. You don't have to defend us. It's okay. You guys have your own problems. I'm just telling you about history, what happened, how Mexicans helped the black slaves, how a lot of Mexicans got killed as well, saving them, how we have always stand.
So now that Trump is doing like the mass deportation, this Mexican woman, and I've seen a few other Mexicans saying that black people needed to help them and stand in solidarity with them. This is not our fight. And she's talking about how the Mexicans helped the black slaves and how they were killed and on the front lines. First of all, we don't even have to go back in history. We already have a lot of issues in our community that we have to face daily and that we're marching for, going to Congress about, trying to get bills passed. We don't have any allies. So we don't even got to talk about slavery. What about now? I don't see the Mexican community rallying behind black people. I just don't see it, not by the droves. I'm not going to say on an individual level and on an individual basis, there are some of you that may, help, but this is not our fight. Don't. You see how they come and recruit us when they need help and when they need numbers? But when we need help and when we need numbers, we're just another nigga on the street. Like, come on, they a lot of these Latinos, they be racist too. Okay? I've been to Mexico and I've seen Mexicans that were dark as me. They don't get the representation in the media. We only see the lighter complected ones. Colorism is rampant over there too. We could go deep, but black people, stand down. I mean, if you want to help, that's up to you, but don't let these people guilt trip you. Not the guilt trip. What y'all think about this? Do we owe the Mexicans anything? It's relevant to Brooklyn Lane.
They are being starved. They are thirsty, only given 1 cup of water per day, are denied bathroom privileges, are denied medical attention. People in ICE concentration camps are losing their lives. And don't even think about saying FAFO, fuck around and find out, to these people in ICE detention centers. It is a shame that members of the black community started the trend, and so many other people followed. This is an updated voting poll.
Updated.
Brown people voted for Kamala Harris more, but you fall for the colonizers' divisive tactics, the inaccurate voting polls, the initial propaganda. It is immature and immoral to be centering that type of behavior in response to a community that is being mass deported in prison and concentration camps and tossed out of the country to who knows where without any rights or contact to any lawyer or family. When we should be focused on solidarity, and this has to stop immediately, especially those of you who claim to be activists perpetuating this FAFOBS nonsense.
Shouts out to Aaliyah, because this is where it was on her page when I first saw this lady, this Mexican lady. And then I went to her page and she doubled down and literally said that they helped us during the Civil War, which is a lie. And the Mexicans helped free the slaves. First of all, Mexico had slavery themselves that wasn't abolished until 1829 or 1830 or something, somewhere around there. And the president that abolished slavery in Mexico was Afro-Indigenous. I don't know why they keep leaving that part out. He looked more like a negro than he looked like. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? And when we were down there, we was fighting beside them. We was helping to protect their borders. They conveniently leave that out. All this civil rights, nobody that was not fighting with us for civil rights. Is a lie and a scam, not as a collective. And they know a lot of them are anti-black. It is so crazy that they keep blaming us. First of all, we've been saying fuck around and found out, just like we've been saying a whole bunch of other shit that they co-opt and steal and turn into something else. Fuck around and found out never really had no political meaning. That's just how black people talk. Bitch, fuck around and find out. That's how we talk. Why do they keep blaming us and censoring us
when we are not the ones that's putting them in concentration camps. We do not yield, nor do we hold the power to deport them. They are focusing on the wrong people. Why y'all not mad at MAGA? Why y'all not sticking it to the white man? I mean, we just got to call it a spade a spade. It's so weird that the Mexican and the Latino community keeps coming for black people. It's because we're not putting our bodies, we're not sacrificing our bodies and going and running out and standing on the front lines. Is that what it is? Why they got so much animosity toward us like we're the ones that's doing this to them? We're not inflicting any pain on you. And as per Aaliyah's video, because I never saw that initial video, she played a video of a bullhead clear guy coining fuck around and find out for political purposes. Once again, stealing our shit, renaming, reclassifying it, giving it a different meaning. We're not making fun of y'all like that. We really ain't. We don't give a... It's unfortunate, but stop blaming. You're pointing.
Black Americans have been warning about white supremacy for generations, saying that don't vote for people who don't like us, don't support systems that harm us. But what happens? People don't listen. In fact, a large number of minorities, they voted for and supported white supremacy. And now when the consequences are here, when ICE becomes more violent, more aggressive, and more powerful, many are now looking for black solidarity. And secondly, black Americans have been used as a shield in America. Many minorities, they often chase proximity to whiteness, believing that they'll be protected. So they distance themselves from black Americans. They adopt the same attitudes and behaviors that oppress black people. They become racist towards them. And yet when they face trouble and when the system turns on them, now they look for black Americans for help. But when black Americans needed them, they are nowhere to be found. So many black Americans feel that that is not true solidarity. That is convenience. That black Americans have learned a painful lesson, that America only values black people when it benefits them. When black people speak out, they are called angry. When they protest, they are called violent. When they demand justice, they are called ungrateful. But when the system hurts other minorities, suddenly black people are expected to be the moral leaders, Fourth, black Americans are tired of being the first line of defense. They are being tired of being the example, and tired of being the ones always have to be brave and strong while everybody else watches. So black Americans have watched families torn apart. They have watched communities destroyed. They have watched police violence, racism become more aggressive, and still they're expected to save everybody else, So when they say that this isn't their fight, it isn't because they don't care. It is because they are protecting their own survival. And let's be honest, when the system is designed to destroy black lives, they cannot keep risking their bodies in danger, and standing with people who won't stand with them when they need them. So this is a very great lesson to learn. And if you want true solidarity, you need to stand with black Americans, even when the system turns on them, That is true solidarity, and not looking for them when the system turns on you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.